surge. It felt like that was a really big reason why this hero was very, very strong. So I'm very intrigued to see on if we're going to get more Razor or not. But we are underway. Game 1, of course, we got to reiterate as well. It is a best of 1 too. So there is only one chance for iG.Vitality or Limit.
And I know you're a bit of a Butterfly Effect simp. Do you think he's got the stuff to be able to bring it through with the OD this game? We can already see he's got the Ring of Health queued up, so that's good signs for me to lead towards something like a Meteor Hammer.
We shall see. I'm a little concerned that they might be able to dive under the tower pretty early on with like rotations out of the Spirit Breaker and the Elder Titan. That's, I think, always one of the bigger weaknesses with like OD and Invokers in the mid lane. So I think a lot of it's going to come down to how are they going to be able to respond on iG.Vitality, and again, if they can get vision set up to protect against those rotations.
Thing is, though, you've got probably one of the best supports in the Clockwork to be able to deal with both the Razor and the Spirit Breaker. You know, Spirit Breaker's charging, Battery Assault's going to stop him. Razor runs at you with a BKB. You've got the Cogs to be able to just put himself in the way. As Rainbows has taken a little bit of harass up on this top side, and it's like it's going to be a bit of a support trade for right now. Of course, Rubik's still the king of that with the Fade Bolt. I mean, they forced him to level up the Magic Missile, which is a pretty big deal. Of course, you don't want to be spamming up the Wave of Terror, just end up pushing the Creep Wave, but they're already pretty weak coming up into this top lane now. Less than half HP on both the Faceless Void and the Venge.
Yeah, do you feel like it's pretty much every time now? Well, hang on. Oh, that's not a good way to start. Yeah, exactly right. Like you said, you know, they're trying to dwindle down some of the resources. He has to poke his head out to secure the range creep, and just a couple of nukes from the boys on iG.V help secure the kill.
Yeah. And that's one of the lanes that didn't really change all that much. Rainpaws and Chusheng in the safe lane were not changed up with the recent, you know, roster shuffles there, as well. Hopefully Chusheng's going to be able to get this D-ward off on the camp, but he wasn't able to block up the hard camp either. So you're going to have a little bit more freedom to be able to make pulls happen here with Fish King. Still one of the best names in Dota.
No, not even gonna lie, I didn't even notice it was an ET3. So let's see how this one's gonna go. I mean, I guess it is the old classic, like Elder Titan to be able to respond into the Morphling with the natural order, being able to completely minimize all of that base armor. It's going to be very important for him to be able to find his farm, though, because you need to get on top of the Morphling to get that added benefit of the passive, or the aura, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think that's a big deal for this draft, right? You've got a Faceless Void and you've got a Razor that you're enabling. You don't really care that much about the magic damage, the magic resistance reduction. It's really just about that base armor being reduced as much as possible. So he needs the farm just so that he can get up in the face. Luckily for them, they've got heroes like the Spirit Breaker that's able to also play that role. And you've also got a Venge swap as well, just to be able to bring him into the place of the ET as well. I wonder if it's going to be one of these games where he just goes like an early-ish Ag Shards as well, just to be able to instantly, you know, get right amongst things on top of the Morphling.
What do we think maybe the item progression could be for the Elder Titan? Like, if you're thinking of going for a potential early Aghanim Shard, what are some other items that he could be looking at too?
I think just like a Phase Boots, Boots of Bearing, Drums is going to be fine enough for him, just to be able to, again, just get in amongst things, be tanky, be survivable, and then maybe start working towards that Aghanim Scepter.
Okay. And overall, another item change that we saw with the patch being the Midas actually top lane. Yeah, fight over the Lotus Pool. It looks like iG.Vitality should be able to pick up their second kill of the game. Rainpaws he can kind of poke onto the Rubik. Yeah, he's even got a Fairy Fire as well. The spells, of course, on cooldown. iG.Vitality won't really be able to continue to put the pressure onto the Faceless Void, but nonetheless, they are happy with getting the kill. I did just want to ask you, like, what are our thoughts on the Midas currently? Because I was watching Ramsey's stream yesterday, and I think in almost every single game that he was going for, it did not matter what the carry was, he was going down the Midas route.
Bro, that's Ramsey's, you know?
Yeah,
what have you come to expect from the man? But it is just like that quality of life change feels so nice. You know, even if you get ganked, it's not a huge deal. And I think it's going to be one of those things where it just allows the game to be drawn out a little bit more and you get more value. And I feel like the game has slowed down a little bit, mostly because a lot of these pushy style offlaners have been nerfed somewhat. And as well, you you have more bans to be able to like get rid of those in the first phase. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Chan, an Enchantress, and a Beastmaster just gone in the first phase, and then suddenly the game is going to last a good 5-10 minutes longer than it used to. So you're going to get a lot more value out of something like a Hand of Midas.
And I'll tell you what, the people with the hero puddle, they're not too happy with the changes with the draft. All of a sudden, you know, potentially 3-4 of their heroes get banned out. It doesn't even feel too bad as well. So,
you know,
what's going on
I
here?
just dropped my TI predictions on Twitter, and I mean, that might be a reason why I'm not going with Aster for China, because Kaka, he's great on his little puddle of heroes, but once you start to force him to try and pick up a few new things, that's when some of the issues could start to come out.
Come on, leave Kaka God alone. That man knows how to ball, and he can, you know, when it gets to the stage where he needs to make some plays as top lane, we're seeing that be the case as once again. They'll get a return kill though this time though. So at least they will be able to avenge the life out of the Venge, but still, it's still a very good start. And even mid lane as well, Butterfly Effect should be able to get the solo kill onto Iristina. Another round of the Arcane Orb, as this is a hell of a start for iG.Vitality. Then we're going to get a double kill down bottom, as well as Ukyo heavily rewarded, and he should be more than okay as well with the attribute shift.
I mean, you got to say, outside of probably Butterfly Effect on the OD, this is just the definition of comfort for iG.Vitality, and it's exactly what you want in a sort of best-of-one situation, right? Yeah. Ukyo, Morphling, by far his most played hero. Like you mentioned before, Shangyu, when he was on IG and LGD, he was just spamming this Brewmaster, and look at the net worth on the Brew. He is a good 800 ahead of the Faceless Void right now.
Which is scary, because, I mean, he's going to be able to potentially rotate with his primal split mid lane, because that's what I was mentioning earlier. They're going to put a lot of emphasis on bringing some extra heroes to try and dive the OD. But if the Brewmaster is going to be able to respond to that at the early stage with his ultimate, then it could really prove to be an issue for Lemon. We're already seeing the...
got that Observer Ward on the left-hand side, so obviously it's not going to deal with Q from making any sort of rotations, but it just provides a little bit of protection. It allowed them to reliably pick up the Illusion Rune, or even if they didn't see what they were dealing with. And also, you just feel so confident on Fish King to be able to make that rotation away, because you're able to pick up this super early earn on the Brewmaster. And it just means that you're able to make individual kills happen.
Well, there's another kill.
See a true
shot. That's going to be the 6 picked up there. Might go for Rain Pause now. Let's see what's going to stop them. Ultimate King committed here from Zhang Yu. Time Walk's still going to be there and available for Rain Pause. He's got the potential to TP out, but of course the Brewlings can always stop him short. And this is now starting to get completely out of control. He's not going to have a lane to go back to now after some of these deaths.
Oh, okay, they're going to commit for this, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make anything happen with 2 level 3 supports. I think Shangyu could just keep going. He swapped in the healing load as he wants to dive.
And there's nothing that can stop him. Q might be in some danger. A little bit more damage required to get the kill. They got another round of the magic missile. Zhang Yu's still sticking around now, and the Faceless Void is about to respawn. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map as well, iG.Vitality, they're going to get a kill on the Elder Titan. So with all the space that Zhang Yu's making top lane, it means the ET is completely vulnerable to Ponyo and Ukyo. And we're already up to a 4,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, and I believe Butterfly Effect has his Meteor Hammer as well, so he's going to start pushing in this mid lane. This was the main concern that I had for iG.Vitality, just not being able to open up the map all that easily, and he's just been left alone here.
Oh no, Denog, the first rotation for Iristina, and he's going to get nothing out of it. No value of this rotation.
I mean, he just didn't have a rune to play with, right? Like, he made a rotation, he TP'd up there, but no haste rune, no DD, nothing like that. I mean, they don't exactly have the best damage themselves. I was mentioning what is he going to do with his skill build. Still went the 2 points in the static link, but again, against an OD, it really just feels like not the ideal sort of play. You're going to get astraled every single time you go for a static link play.
Speaking of the OD,
does go to jungle. This Storm Surge not going to have the greatest value, and yep, Butterfly Effect's just been left alone. He's basically soloed down this mid tier 1 tower.
He's even got a Midas queued up as well, so I mean, this hero scales incredibly well into the late game. We're going to see that come into play. So T1 tower already claimed, and I wonder what the choice is going to be from Butterfly Effect now.
He just microed his career into the OD, so he's like, all right, I'll take it.
Free gold and more free kills as well. Another death onto the Vengeful Spirit. And they have Primal split up in 10 seconds, so Chrono's going to be used from Rain Pause. Does get stolen though, but Silver the Brewmaster's in some danger. Zhang Yu, is he going to be taken? No, he lives. Are you serious? Zhang Yu won't even die. Butterfly effect after getting the tier 1 mid. Rotates atop at the perfect timing. And now this tower's going to be assaulted as well.
And you can't TP into this because you stole the Chronosphere as well on Fish Kick. So he's just going to be able to turn it around. You've got some decent damage on Butterfly effect to be able to pump into it. He's got the Gloves of Haste already, so going to get some, decent amount of right-click damage through with the Arcane Orb. And I mean, we haven't even mentioned Ukyo, and that's exactly what you want with a Morphling. He's 3-0-0 off the back of his laning phase, but laning phase is done, and iG.Vitality are in a super dominant position.
And like you mentioned before, the supports, still level 3, and will continue to be that way for Q. Another death for him. You're going to try and soak mid on the Venge, but like without a tower, you're pretty much just going to die constantly. So look at them just sweeping across the map. Brewmaster, Rubik, and the Clockwork hand in hand. That's going to be another death. There's going to be 6 deaths on the Vengeful Spirit 10 minutes into the game. They might get Irisnir as well. A little bit awkward use of the spell casting, but once the Chrono's expired, they're going to be able to telekinesis back into the hands of Zhang Yu. Even stole the Plasma Field as well for extra damage out of Fish King. This is just a beatdown from the new iG.Vitality roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I really feel like it was a huge mistake. Not just getting just the 1 point in the Storm Surge. I really think it would have changed things around for the Razor a little bit. It just becomes so much harder to be able to make those sorts of chases happen. Because, you think about it. You're going up against things like the Rubik, who's going to be right-clicking you and using single target spells. You've got a Brewmaster who's trying to chase you down with the buffs up to the Cinderbrew. Still no points in the Drunken Brawler, though, for Zhang Yu. And, I mean, the man's a Brewmaster specialist, so I'm not going to knock him, but I mean, it just goes to show that he doesn't even need to rely on a lot of those right clicks to be able to get the work done. Is he going to dive? A tier 2 at 11 minutes?
Brother, this is more kills. What's going to stop him? I think it's just a game of
multi-shot.
Well, that multi-shot, unfortunately, is not going to be enough. They can always win, walk away. It's just going to be a game now of how many deaths can they give over to the Venge, because we are up to 7. 10,000 net worth lead after that tier 1 tower claimed down bottom. They're able to drop an Observe Ward as well around kind of the right Ancients area. So where are you going to be able to farm for Dire? I mean, it is a Midas completed for Rain Pause, but that is a silver lining at best. And that's another dive as well into Q. He's probably going to tick out to the Vessel.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. Jesus, man.
Like, maxed out Cinderbrew plus Vessel does an insane amount of damage early on. It's like 600 plus that you're able to do. And when it's this early stage and you've only got about 1,100 or 1,000 or so on your supports, it really is just essentially a free kill.
And this is potentially another free kill as well. Telekinesis back into the hands of Zhang Yu. They're going to be able to slowly chip him down from afar, even hookshot as well. So, I mean, I think with the patch notes, we saw a lot of talks about like Spirit Vessel and Invoker. I know Invoker is incredibly strong at the moment. What do we make out of it with the Brewmaster being a universal hero? I know Vessel was just nerfed. It doesn't have as many attributes, but the total cost was still decreased. So do we think this could be another kind of sleeper hero where, again, a lot of people were speaking about Invoker and Vessel? Do we need to look at the Brewmaster hero as well?
Oh, completely. I mean, it just unlocks Brew's potential so much. It's kind of like a substitute for the Vanguard a little bit. It makes your laning stage so much stronger. It gives you some sustain as well. And it really just means that your position 4 can look to make a lot more of those rotations away. He's got a blink as well.
Where does he go?
He doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. I mean, honestly, if Limit don't get these 14-minute Wisdom Runes, at least one of them, it's probably like GG territory. You're already 11k down 13 minutes in. You're level 4 on your Spirit Breaker. Venge is level 6 at least, I suppose, but you just need that Nether Strike to be able to fight even moderately into this.
Again, I mean, this trio has not left each other's side for quite some time. They're going to make another jump. And Q, he'll try and do whatever he can to disrupt them, but he's just going to feed over another death onto iG.Vitality. It is still making them work for it into the tree line, but they'll be able to catch up to him. and now go for Q next as well. It's just the Brewlings is all they need. They're going to be able to wrap around on the outskirts as Ponyo now can look to step in as well, off for the control. That is a little awkward, but it's not going to matter in the end, as he does still end up ticking out.
Butterfly effects just pinging it out. Wisdom Rune is up. Ponyo is going to go away and yoink it. We mentioned the drums being a potential pickup for the Elder Titan, but he is not having a great game right now. And
nor is Aristina. Dude, he's 13-0-3. What a debut on your new roster.
It's a statement game, dude.
Yeah, this is a wild game for Junghyun. Like you said, I mean, he was, he played on PSG LGD. They kicked him off the team. He was on Invictus Gaming. They demoted him into the academy team. He's got something to prove, and definitely in this game one, he's doing that.
Yeah. Beat down. 22-1, Lockie. 14 minutes in, and they already used the glyph to be able to try and get that multi-shot kill onto the Brewlings when he used the split previously, so nothing's going to stop him taking this tier 2 tower. They're probably going to look to make a rotation up towards top. And Faceless Void, at least. Rainpause is farming a little bit, but he really just can't make any sort of impact in a lot of these fights.
No, and like who at the early stage is going to have damage inside the Chronosphere as well? Like maybe Earth Splitter, but really is that going to be enough with all the gold they've been able to farm to have these kind of items to make them tankier? And once again, that ward we spoke about is going to be able to run into the Elder Titan, and all those further to the south, Janyu's onto Aristina as well, so he's going to be able to slowly play his distance, wait for the reinforcements to show up. They know that Aristina TP down to bottom, so there's going to be no escape for the Razor. Even Ponyo blocks the path as well.
What a bully, honestly. Just giving even more food to this Brewmaster who's fat as hell already, and he's not even level 12, so he's just going to be even stronger, even more dive potential. And I mean, honestly, it feels like, they're going to be able to get a D ward. He doesn't even have his eyes on the map to be able to get the D ward off. He just wants more kills. He's trying to run them down. He's seeing where that Kobold is running.
They're going to split for it. All right, John, you may be thinking some extra heroes are behind. He's going to see Rainpause in the... I mean, where you running now, Void? Is unfortunately the one death that you could not give over on the Faceless Void, who was starting to get a little bit of farm, but still nowhere near going to be enough. He has to chrono. Oh no!
He has to, man.
No,
there's no other choice.
That feels so bad.
It does. It feels horrible. Maybe they can get a kill. All right, Fish King. He's only got one kill though, so it's really not going to give them that much gold back. And well, Aristina, luckily for him, is the one to pick it up.
Not luckily enough, he's the one to also die as well. So yeah, you get the kill, but Butterfly Effect swings on over, drops the hammer, and is rewarded 15 to make it 16,000 net worth lead. We've always said it, we'll say it again. If your net worth lead is the same as a minute mark, I mean, you can...
Especially this early.
Especially this early. Like, I mean, I didn't even...
40 minutes into the game, it might be recoverable, right? Because it'll be like a big teamfight ulti. You've got level 3 ultis, and, you may be able to make that turnaround happen, but not this early on. They just have no net worth to be able to fight with.
And they call it as well. So Limit, unfortunately, will be the first team knocked out of the TI-12 China regional qualifiers.